Chosen one. Heaven has stopped you for a reason. You didn't pause here by coincidence. Something greater has stepped into your timeline, a divine interruption. The noise around you is only the background to a much louder message. God is warning you. Don't take this lightly. You have felt it, haven't you? That quiet pull in your spirit. That sense that time itself has shifted slightly. That what once felt normal now feels hollow. It's not anxiety, it's awakening. Heaven is calling you out of distraction and into destiny. For too long, you've tried to fit in with places that couldn't hold your purpose. You've silenced your fire to make others comfortable. But fire was never meant to whisper, it was meant to roar. You are not like the rest. There's a mark on you, an invisible seal of assignment that darkness has recognized since the day you were born. That's why the attacks have been precise. That's why you've carried pressure others couldn't explain. Once there was a woman named Alina, quiet, overlooked, faithful in small things. For years, she served others, believing her life was ordinary. Then came a season of sudden endings. Friendships dissolved. Her work dried up. Silence became her companion. She thought she was losing everything. In truth, heaven was clearing her stage. God was stripping the noise so she could finally hear. And when she did, she realized that every ending had been preparation for a greater beginning. Her obedience in the unseen became her crown in the open. You're standing in that same holy space right now, the gap between almost and finally. It feels uncertain because transformation always begins with disruption. You can't carry old comfort into new calling. What feels like shaking is actually alignment. The voice of the Lord once spoke through the prophet, and the words still echo today. Now this is what the Lord Almighty says. Give careful thought to your ways. Every word in that verse strikes like thunder. Give careful thought. Heaven is asking you to examine your path, to look beyond surface success and into soul obedience. Are you living what you were created for, or just surviving another cycle of delay? This moment is not random, it's diagnostic. God is showing you what has been stealing your focus. The distractions, the endless scrolling, the quiet compromises, they've numbed your hearing. But the Spirit says, wake up. The time of casual faith is ending. The season of chosen ones rising has begun. Think of a lighthouse on a fog-covered shore. Ships don't notice it until the storm hits. But when the waves grow wild, that one beam becomes the difference between destruction and deliverance. You are that lighthouse. Your endurance, your faith, your resilience, they are not private virtues. They are signals for others lost in darkness. When you stand firm, someone else finds their way home. Maybe you've been asking God for a sign. This is it. When heaven interrupts your scroll, it's not entertainment, it's invitation. The message you're hearing isn't just for comfort, it's a command wrapped in grace. Step out of hesitation. Step into obedience. Do not mistake God's silence for absence. Silence is His way of focusing you. He's been testing your hearing in stillness because the next instruction requires accuracy. Every great assignment begins with a pause. Every true awakening starts with a warning. So, hear this clearly. The days ahead will demand clarity. You cannot afford to move carelessly. Every word, every choice, every alignment matters. The wrong voices will dull your discernment. The right surrender will unlock your next level. Heaven is not just speaking, it's recording your response. This message reached you because your name was written into it. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. But the window of mercy has purpose. It's not open forever. Pause. Reflect. Take this warning with reverence, not fear. What you do next determines what heaven entrusts to you next. If this speaks to your spirit, type 777 inches. The comments as a prophetic sign that you hear, you see, and you choose to align. Then, share this message so others can awaken too. Subscribe if you feel called to stay close to what heaven is releasing. You have just stepped into the beginning of something sacred. The warning is not punishment, it's invitation. You are being prepared, refined, and set apart. Don't take it lightly, because this moment will echo into eternity. You are not here by chance. Heaven interrupted your path to wake you up. This is not noise, it's divine instruction. Listen carefully. Your next choice shapes destiny. God is warning you. Don't take this lightly. The silence you feel is sacred focus. Align your heart. Steady your faith. And move when heaven says, move. You have carried this calling since childhood, even before you could name it. The others called it sensitivity, imagination, or stubbornness. But heaven called it marking. Every rejection, every misunderstanding, every moment you felt out of place was a signature of purpose written on your spirit. You weren't being excluded, you were being identified. From the beginning, the unseen world recognized your potential. The attacks didn't start when you became strong, they started when you were innocent. Because the enemy always tries to corrupt purpose before it matures. There were moments you didn't understand why certain people turned cold, why you felt isolated even in crowds, why every attempt to blend in left you exhausted. But isolation was the cocoon of your transformation. There's a boy in scripture named Samuel. As a child, he slept near the ark of God, while others slept in comfort elsewhere. He was young, overlooked, yet chosen. In the middle of the night, he heard his name being called. The first few times, he thought it was another person. But when he finally understood it was the Lord, his answer became history. Speak, for your servant is listening. And you, too, have been hearing whispers that the world calls coincidence. You've dreamed things before they happened. You've felt a heaviness when others joked about things that offend heaven. That's not strangeness, it's sensitivity to the spirit. You were marked from birth to discern what others ignore. There was once a young artist who painted storms. Every canvas carried wild waves and shattered ships. When asked why she never painted calm seas, she said, "Because I only see beauty when the wind obeys something greater than itself." That's what your life has been, a testimony in process. You have been learning to obey the invisible voice that commands the storm. As the prophet Hosea wrote long ago, the words still pierce with precision. Chapter 10, verse 12. Sow for yourselves righteousness. Reap steadfast love. Break up your unplowed ground. For it is time to seek the Lord. This is your time to break the unplowed ground, the hardened places of disappointment, fear, and delay. God cannot plant new purpose in soil still crowded with yesterday's pain. Every heartbreak, every closed door has been loosening the ground of your heart so that divine seeds can finally take root. You've wondered why you had to lose so much, why your loyalty was met with betrayal, why your sincerity was mocked. The answer is harsh, but holy, because untested faith cannot carry eternal weight. Before the crown comes the crushing. Before revelation comes refinement. You've been in a long waiting season, a wilderness, quiet and confusing. Others moved ahead while you stayed behind, watching, praying, wondering if you missed your moment. But listen, heaven hasn't forgotten your name. The wilderness isn't punishment, it's preparation. You were hidden to be healed, not ignored to be forgotten. Every chosen one goes through obscurity before authority. David had his cave. Moses had his desert. Even Jesus had his wilderness. The hidden years don't destroy the called, they define them. That's where you've been living. In the sacred middle, where growth happens unseen. In this stage, God is not testing your strength, He's testing your surrender. Because what's coming next isn't built on talent, it's built on trust. You've proven you can work hard. Now, He's teaching you to rest in obedience. Look at your story again. The patterns of delay weren't random. They were divine appointments in disguise. Every "not yet" from heaven protected you from counterfeit opportunities that would have drained your destiny. If you had received what you wanted too soon, it would have crushed you. Timing is mercy, not denial. The Spirit whispers even now, you are closer than you think. You don't need a new sign, you need renewed focus. What looks like silence is God rearranging your steps. Don't interpret the pause as punishment. It's calibration. He's tuning your spirit like a stringed instrument, preparing you to release the right sound in the right season. And when the season shifts, you will know. The doors that resisted you will suddenly open, not because you forced them, but because heaven finally said, now. You will walk through, not with pride, but with quiet authority, carrying peace that confuses darkness. So, remember Hosea's call. Break your unplowed ground. Don't resist the process. Don't let bitterness harden the soil that was meant to grow miracles. You are not being buried, you are being planted. The mark you carry isn't a burden, it's a seal. Every trial has carved a deeper capacity in you for glory. Every tear has been counted. Every ache recorded. You were never abandoned. You were being authored. This is the truth. The darkness fears. Once a chosen one realizes their suffering had purpose, they become unstoppable. And that's exactly what's happening now. You are awakening to who you have always been, set apart, refined, ready. There is a war inside you, and most people will never see it. The calm you show on the outside hides a storm that has been raging for years. You smile, you serve, you continue, but deep within, there's a silent battlefield where faith and fear wrestle every day. That inner conflict doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're awake. The enemy doesn't waste energy on the indifferent. He targets those who threaten darkness simply by existing. You carry light that disrupts deception, and that makes you a threat. That's why the attacks often come through familiar voices, comfortable habits, and emotional fatigue. The goal isn't to destroy you, it's to distract you from remembering who you are. There was a young man named Cale who lived years buried in spiritual numbness. He loved God, but not deeply enough to resist comfort. He prayed, but not long enough to hear. Then one night, in the quiet of exhaustion, a single sentence entered his mind. What if you are living beneath your assignment? That question shattered his peace and rebuilt his purpose. Kyle began to see life as a war zone. not a waiting room. He realized that every delay was a test of alignment, not an accident. The Spirit showed him that the battle wasn't against people, but against patterns, the invisible habits that dulled his fire. He started fasting from distractions, deleting what dimmed his focus, guarding his peace like a treasure. You are in that same stage now. Heaven is calling you to fight differently, to fight with clarity, not chaos. The greatest warfare of a chosen one isn't external, it's internal. It's the daily decision to silence fear, to stop negotiating obedience, to walk by faith when feelings rebel. As the Apostle Paul revealed in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." You are not fighting people, you're fighting principalities. This truth should shift how you respond. When betrayal comes, you bless. When misunderstanding strikes, you stay silent. When temptation whispers, you turn your heart toward prayer. These are not acts of weakness, they are acts of warfare. Think of your soul like a citadel on a hill. Every thought that enters is either a messenger or a spy. Some come to bring peace, others come to sow doubt. You must guard your gates with discernment. Don't allow every emotion to sit at your table. Not every feeling deserves a voice in your decision. The unseen war intensifies when you start walking in truth. You'll notice more resistance, but that's confirmation. You're moving in the right direction. The deeper your purpose, the louder the opposition. But remember, darkness fights hardest when it's losing territory. There will be nights when you feel completely alone, when prayers feel unanswered, and your heart feels like cracked glass. In those moments, heaven isn't ignoring you, it's building endurance. The silence is sacred training, not rejection. Every chosen one must learn to hear God, even when he says nothing. Kyle discovered that victory didn't come through striving, it came through surrender. The moment he stopped fighting to be understood and started fighting to stay obedient, everything changed. His atmosphere shifted. Peace became his shield. That's your next step. Stop explaining your calling to people who can't hear your frequency. Stop apologizing for the intensity of your faith. You are not dramatic, you are discerning. You are not overthinking, you are spiritually alert. There's a reason you sense things others ignore, because your sensitivity is your weapon. So when you feel the pressure rising again, when the spiritual noise becomes overwhelming, whisper this simple declaration: I am not losing, I am learning. You are being trained by the very tension that tried to break you. Heaven uses resistance as refinement. You may feel tired, but you're not defeated. Every prayer you've whispered has been ammunition in the unseen realm. The angels assigned to you have not left. They are waiting for your next command, the command of faith spoken even through tears. And now, I invite you to ground this revelation. Type, "I stand firm." End quote, not as a slogan, but as an act of war. Those 3 words are not for me, they're for heaven to witness, for darkness to fear, and for your own spirit to remember. When you write them, you declare that your faith is not for sale, that you will not be manipulated by feelings or fear, that your destiny will not be delayed by distraction. The unseen war is real, but so is your victory. You were not chosen to survive, you were chosen to conquer. When you write those words, Heaven records your courage. It is not just typing, it's testifying that your faith stands unshaken. Even when everything around you trembles, there is a quiet kind of strength that grows only through endurance. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand to be seen. But it holds the weight of heaven inside human skin. That's the kind of strength God has been cultivating in you, one built through silence, waiting, and unseen faithfulness. You've endured storms that others would have surrendered to. You've walked through nights where your tears became your prayers, where hope seemed fragile but never disappeared. Every trial that came wasn't meant to crush you, it was meant to confirm you. The pressure wasn't punishment, it was proof. The word of the Lord is timeless. And through the writings in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, the message is clear. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That promise isn't for the comfortable, it's for the tested. For the ones who keep believing when every reason to believe has run out. For those who refuse to quit, even when the silence of heaven feels unbearable. Think back to the moments when quitting felt easier than standing. The nights when you said, "I can't do this anymore." Yet somehow, you did. You kept breathing. You kept showing up. You kept fighting invisible battles that no one clapped for. That was heaven's training ground, shaping endurance into identity. There was once a soldier named Marek. He wasn't the strongest or the loudest, but he understood one truth. Wars aren't won by speed, they're won by stamina. During one brutal winter march, when the others gave up, Marek whispered to himself, "Just one more step." That step became another, then another. He reached the summit alone, frostbitten but victorious. Later, when asked what gave him strength, he said, "I didn't wait to feel strong. I moved until strength found me." That's the rhythm of faith. You move. Even when you don't feel ready, you press forward. Not because you're fearless, but because obedience is stronger than fear. The chosen ones learn early that faith isn't proven in comfort, it's revealed in resistance. God has been refining you in the hidden furnace. You've been asking for breakthrough, but He's been giving you endurance, because only endurance can carry breakthrough without breaking you. The reason your process feels longer than others is because your calling carries more weight. Shallow roots can't sustain tall trees. Deep foundations take time. You might think nothing is changing, but look closer. Your responses have matured. Your discernment has sharpened. Your peace has deepened. The same things that once threw you into chaos now barely shake you. That's evidence of growth. Heaven notices what humans overlook. Every season of testing has layers. First comes confusion, then surrender, and finally revelation. Right now, you may be standing in surrender, the place where you've run out of your own answers. But surrender is sacred ground. It's where divine exchange happens. God takes your control and gives you clarity. Sometimes the most powerful prayer isn't, "Lord, change this," but "Lord, change me through this." Because when transformation happens inside you, the outside eventually aligns. You stop reacting to pressure and start responding with purpose. There's a refining fire that doesn't burn to destroy but to define. It melts away the unnecessary, leaving only what's eternal. Every chosen one must walk through that fire. You can't carry excess into your destiny, only essence. So if you feel stretched, understand this. The stretching is making room for the crown. The waiting is not wasted, it's weaving strength into your soul. The same fire that once scared you is now shaping you. You are not behind. You are being built, slowly, deliberately, and divinely. In time, the things that once wounded you will become weapons in your hands. You'll speak peace into the pain of others because you'll recognize it, you've lived it. Your scars will become signatures of authority. There will come a day when you'll look back at this valley and thank God it didn't end sooner. Because what He forged in you here cannot be learned in victory, it can only be formed in pressure. Keep walking. Keep trusting. The storm has an expiration date, but your strength will not. When the test ends, your crown awaits, not one of gold, but one of endurance, carved by perseverance and sealed by love. When that moment comes, you won't celebrate the end of the storm, you'll celebrate the strength it built in you. The reward won't just be a crown, it will be clarity. Knowing every tear became part of your testimony, heaven will whisper, "Well done, faithful one," not because you never fell, but because you kept standing, and in that stillness, you'll realize endurance was the miracle all along. There comes a time when the waiting ends and the awakening begins. You can feel it in your bones, the quiet shift in the atmosphere, the subtle stirring in your chest. Heaven is no longer whispering, it's moving. The delays, the silences, the long nights were all rehearsals for this moment. You are no longer being tested, you are being trusted. You may not realize it, but everything around you is rearranging to make space for the new version of you. The version forged in fire, baptized in endurance, and refined through surrender. The world won't recognize you at first. That's because transformation rarely announces itself, it simply starts to shine through. There was once a woman named Leora. She had spent years praying for a breakthrough that never came. Every morning, she would look out her window at a small tree in her garden that refused to bloom. Seasons passed. Storms came, and still the branches stayed bare. One spring, she nearly cut it down, thinking it was dead. But that same year, the roots broke through deeper soil and found water. When the rains came, the tree didn't just bloom, it exploded with color, as if years of silence had been stored in its veins. That's how your life works too. God hides color in your waiting. He buries joy in your endurance. The longer the silence, the deeper the roots. The day will come when what once looked lifeless bursts into purpose. You'll understand then that heaven never wastes time. It redeems it. The Word of God says through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 8, "They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green." No, you are that tree. You've survived drought, endured storms, and remained standing when others withered. The roots of faith within you have gone deep enough to find unseen rivers. That's why your leaves will not wither when the heat rises. That's why your peace will not crumble when the world shakes. Now, heaven is calling you to rise, not as an obligation, but as an act of beauty. You're being invited into visibility, not for fame, but for function. Light doesn't apologize for shining, it simply fulfills its purpose. You were never meant to hide forever. The same voice that whispered in your wilderness now says, Step forward. This isn't about chasing recognition. It's about reflecting redemption. When you let your light shine, you give others permission to believe again. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every truth you stand for, it ripples outward, touching hearts you'll never meet. Think of this moment like a river finding its flow again. The waters don't rush because they're forced. They move because gravity calls them home. That's how the Spirit moves through you now, naturally, freely, beautifully. Leora's garden became a place where others came to rest. People who had lost hope found comfort sitting beneath her once barren tree. That's the picture heaven paints for you. Your story will shade the weary. Your peace will refresh the thirsty. You don't need to strive, you just need to stay rooted. And now, there's something gentle heaven is asking of you, not as command, but as invitation. If these words have stirred something inside you, something pure, something hopeful, then let it move through you. When you press like, it's more than a button, it's an agreement. It says, I recognize this light. When you share, it's not promotion, it's participation, extending the reach of grace beyond yourself. And when you subscribe, you aren't following a channel, you're choosing to stay connected to the river that keeps flowing through these words. You do it because you feel it, because something in you knows this isn't just content, it's calling. Every simple gesture becomes a seed sown into the field of faith. A quiet way of saying, I'm part of this movement of light. Oh, let your engagement be worship. Let your response be remembrance. The world doesn't need another audience. It needs awakened hearts. You are one of them. Soon, you'll see the fruit of everything you've endured. The same hands that trembled in weakness will hold the evidence of promise. The same eyes that cried in darkness will behold the dawn of destiny. And when that happens, you'll smile not because you finally arrived, but because you finally understood. It was never about the destination, it was always about the becoming. So stand tall, chosen one. The wind may still blow, but now it sings through your branches instead of breaking them. You've become what heaven imagined, a living testimony that roots can outlast storms. And as you rise, remember, every small act of sharing light multiplies it. Every echo of truth releases more hope into the world. You're not promoting anything. You're planting eternity. One ripple at a time. There comes a sacred moment when God revisits the promises you once made in whispers, the ones you thought He forgot, the ones you prayed through tears, the ones you tucked away because waiting hurt too much. Heaven never forgot them. What you thought was delay was divine incubation. What you called silence was strategy. You see, God doesn't break covenants, He circles back to them. Every vow you made in sincerity has been echoing in eternity. The prayers you spoke when no one was watching are now maturing in unseen soil. Heaven has not been ignoring you, it has been preparing you to keep your end of the promise. There's a story of a man named Elian who once promised God, if you bring me out of this, I'll serve you all my days. Time passed. Blessings came. Comfort crept in. And slowly he forgot. Years later, when life began to shake again, he realized God wasn't punishing him. He was reminding him. The shaking was the sound of mercy, knocking on a door he'd left unopened. You might be in that same season. You've survived the drought. But now God is calling you to remember your covenant. The words you spoke in pain are about to be tested in purpose. Every chosen one must eventually face this moment, the moment when your promise meets his patience. As it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 4, when you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. This isn't a threat, it's a gentle but holy reminder. God values integrity, not perfection. He isn't asking you to perform, he's inviting you to remember. The covenant you made wasn't a transaction, it was a declaration of love. And love always comes with remembrance. Elian learned that the second promise is stronger than the first. When he returned to God, not from fear but from gratitude, everything in his life began to realign. Peace returned. Direction reappeared. He realized that the covenant wasn't a chain, it was a key. That same key is in your hands now. You're being invited back into divine partnership. Heaven is not asking for repayment, it's inviting reconnection. The covenant wasn't meant to confine you, it was meant to anchor you. Think of a harbor during a storm. The anchor doesn't restrict the ship, it keeps it from being lost. Your covenant with God is that anchor. It keeps you from drifting into distractions. Even when waves of temptation rise, you've grown stronger since the last time you made that vow. Back then, you promised from pain. Now, you'll fulfill it from power. The voice that once trembled with fear will now speak with authority. The difference is maturity, the refining of faith through time. There's something sacred about remembering. When you look back at how far you've come, gratitude transforms regret. You start to see how every detour was still leading you to destiny. The delay wasn't denial, it was design. God was waiting for your roots to grow deep enough to hold the harvest that's coming. Heaven's message to you today is this: keep your promise, reignite your altar, restore your covenant, because what's coming next requires alignment, not ambition. The blessings waiting ahead need a foundation of remembrance. And right now, if something inside you feels that holy, stirring a quiet nudge to return, to realign, to recommit, acknowledge it. Don't brush it off as emotion. This is a divine reminder, tailor-made for you. Pause and let these words settle. Feel the weight of what's being offered. This isn't just another moment, it's a divine reset. The circle is closing, and heaven is giving you another chance to step fully into what was always meant to be yours. As a prophetic act of remembrance, type 888 inches, the comments. This number symbolizes renewal, restoration, and covenant completion. It's not superstition, it's declaration. It's your way of saying, I still choose obedience. I still remember. And every comment becomes like a stone in the river, a marker of faith, a memorial of covenant. When you write that number, heaven sees it as your yes, not to a video, but to your original vow. You've come too far to forget what started your fire. The same God who called you then is calling you again now. And this time, your response will not be driven by desperation, but by devotion. The covenant isn't about returning to rules, it's about returning to relationship. You aren't being summoned into guilt, but into glory. God is not holding your past against you, He's holding your hand through it. Let this be the moment where you stop running from the voice and start walking with it again. Because when heaven reminds you of a promise, it's not to expose you, it's to empower you. You are stepping back into alignment. You are remembering who you are, and in doing so, You're unlocking what's been waiting all along. The promise still stands, and so do you. There is a strange silence that follows obedience. It's not empty, it's heavy, like the air right before rain. You've done what you were asked. You've surrendered what you couldn't carry. And now everything seems still, but this stillness is not absence, it's anticipation. Heaven often speaks loudest in the quiet. You may have noticed how peace feels different now. It's not the easy calm of ignorance, it's the deep stillness of understanding. You don't need constant signs anymore because you've learned to trust the sender. The chosen ones reach a point where faith is no longer about feeling, it's about knowing. There's an ancient rhythm to the way God moves. He plants, He hides, He waters, He reveals. The space between hiding and revealing is where character is built. That's where you are between revelation and realization. You're not stuck, you're being shaped. You've probably learned that spiritual maturity doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with silence from the people you thought would support you. Those who once celebrated you may now misunderstand your distance. But don't mistake their absence for betrayal. Some seasons can only be walked alone. Isolation is not rejection, it's refinement. Think of gold in the furnace. When the flames rise, the impurities surface. The fire doesn't destroy the gold, it exposes its worth. That's what God is doing in you. The pressure is not punishment, it's purification. The heat you feel is heaven separating what's true from what's temporary. There was a man named Tobias who spent years studying the stars. He said he loved the night because it forced him to look upward. One evening, after a long season of personal loss, he sat under the darkest sky he'd ever seen. He expected nothing, no revelation, no miracle, just silence. But as he watched, one star broke through the clouds, then another, and another. By midnight, the sky was alive with light. Tobias whispered, "Even the stars keep their promises." That night, he understood. The light never left. It was only waiting for the right darkness to be seen. Your life is the same. The promise hasn't disappeared. It's waiting for maturity. Sometimes God hides blessings not to withhold them, but to ensure they're handled with wisdom when they appear. When He delays the unveiling, He's protecting you from the weight of what you're not ready to carry. Patience isn't just waiting, it's worship. It's trusting God's timing more than your understanding. You've been taught that speed means progress. But in heaven's design, stillness often precedes acceleration. What looks delayed is often being developed behind the veil. In the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, the ancient words still hold power. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. To be still doesn't mean to do nothing. It means to stop striving, to rest in confidence, knowing that even when you can't see movement, heaven is active. Every silence has a strategy. Right now, your stillness is building spiritual gravity. It's drawing answers toward you. You don't need to chase what's already on its way. You simply need to stay aligned. Keep your heart clean and remain open. There's a quiet beauty in the middle space, the place between promise and fulfillment. It's where faith becomes friendship, where you stop demanding outcomes and start enjoying presence. God doesn't just want your service, He wants your stillness. In that stillness, you begin to see differently. You stop measuring success by visibility and start valuing peace. You realize that unseen seasons aren't wasted, they're wombs. They carry future miracles in hidden form. When you embrace this truth, even the waiting becomes holy. You stop asking, when, and start asking, what are you forming in me? That's when transformation happens, not with noise, but with quiet certainty. You're no longer the same person who started this journey. You've learned to endure without explanation, to obey without reward, to trust without clarity. That's what maturity looks like. And soon, the silence will break, not with thunder, but with confirmation. What you've been waiting for will begin to unfold naturally, because your heart is finally ready to receive it. So stay grounded. Keep your peace. Don't confuse pause with punishment. The stillness is sacred, and within it, heaven is breathing your next chapter into being. And when the stillness finally breaks, it won't sound like chaos, it will sound like clarity. You'll recognize the voice that guided you all along. Quiet, but constant. Steady as light beneath the waves. You'll see how every unanswered prayer was really an unopened door. How every pause protected you from stepping into places not meant for you. The wisdom of waiting will become your favorite revelation. Then you'll walk forward, not as someone chasing purpose, but as someone carrying it. You'll move with calm authority, knowing that when you are still before God, everything else must move around you. You have begun to see clearly now the difference between noise and guidance, between reaction and revelation. It's strange how much peace lives in clarity. The same storms that once terrified you now only test your stability. You've stopped trying to control every wave because you finally trust the one who commands the sea. Growth has a sound, and it's quiet. It doesn't roar or demand attention. It hums beneath your daily obedience. Every morning you rise, pray, and keep going. Even when you don't feel like it, heaven records that faithfulness, the invisible work, becomes eternal weight. You've learned that not every mountain is meant to be climbed. Some are meant to be spoken to. The old you would have exhausted yourself trying to move what God only asked you to command. The new you understands that authority doesn't always look like action, it often looks like alignment. Your strength now is steady, not frantic. You're learning to respond instead of react, to listen before you leap, to discern before you decide. Maturity feels different. It's quieter, wiser, more deliberate. You no longer chase validation. You cultivate vision. There's a sacred shift that happens when you stop proving and start embodying. You become less concerned about being understood and more focused on being aligned. The opinions that once distracted you now pass through you like wind through an open gate. You don't resist, you release. It reminds me of a craftsman shaping glass in the heat of the furnace. The fire bends the glass until it takes the form intended by the artist. If it resists the heat, it cracks. If it yields, it transforms. That's what your obedience has done. It has turned pressure into purpose. And through this process, something radiant has begun to form inside you. Discernment. It's sharper now. You can sense spiritual currents that others miss. You can feel when peace withdraws or when divine favor steps in. This is not paranoia, it's perception refined through pain. The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23, speaks directly to this moment. Above else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And Your heart is the wellspring of your journey. Protect it not by isolation, but by intention. Guard it from cynicism, from the slow poison of comparison, from the bitterness that seeks to undo your purity. Every chosen one must learn this discipline, to love without losing discernment, to give without emptying themselves completely. There was once a man named Oren who built violins. He said the best wood for music came from trees that grew on mountains battered by wind. The storms carved strength into the grain. He explained, that's what makes the instrument sing. In the same way, the resistance you've faced has carved resonance into your spirit. Now, when you speak, heaven vibrates through your words. You have become an instrument of divine sound. You no longer echo the chaos of the world. You resonate with the rhythm of eternity. People will start to sense peace simply by being near you. You won't need to preach. Your presence will speak. Still, this refinement is not without pain. Sometimes peace feels lonely. You'll look around and realize how few walk this narrow road. But don't mistake solitude for scarcity. You're not being separated from people. You're being set apart for purpose. There's a difference. In time, the ones meant for your journey will find you not through striving, but through alignment. They'll recognize your frequency, not your face. That's how divine connection works, like rivers converging under unseen mountains. And when those connections come, they won't drain you, they'll amplify you. You'll build together, not compete. You'll serve together, not struggle for attention. Purpose partnerships, replace surface relationships. That's the next phase of your calling, unity born from authenticity. The stillness of Section 7 has now become strength in motion. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. Your transformation itself is the testimony heaven planned. You've weathered enough storms to understand this truth. Obedience will always outlast opposition. Those who mock your faith will fade. Those who stand in it will shine. So walk forward, gently but firmly. Your voice may be soft, but it carries authority. Your steps may seem small, but they echo in eternity. Keep moving with steady grace, for heaven's rhythm is already guiding your feet. You are no longer chasing the light, you have become it. Every scar glows softly now, proof that even broken vessels can carry glory. What once felt like survival has turned into stewardship, and as you move forward, peace walks beside you like a faithful shadow. You don't need to announce what God is doing. It's visible in how you stand. Calm, unwavering, beautifully transformed. You are living proof that silence can sing, that faith can bloom in ashes, and that endurance always turns pain into power. There's a sound that rises before breakthrough. It's not noise, it's alignment. Heaven leans close when a chosen one begins to understand their voice. You've spent years silencing yourself, thinking humility meant hiding. But true humility is harmony, walking in the exact tone heaven wrote for your soul. The darkness has studied you long enough to know what triggers your silence. That's why your warfare has often been confusion, not chaos. The enemy doesn't always attack your body, he attacks your clarity. Because if he can make you doubt your sound, he can mute your assignment. But look at you now. You've learned to speak peace over panic, to bless even when betrayed, to pray when others would have cursed. You've discovered that your voice carries more than emotion, it carries atmosphere. Every word you speak in faith rearranges the air around you. In the early mornings of the prophets, They didn't speak to be heard. They spoke to shift. They declared what heaven was doing until earth caught up. You are entering that same grace. Your words will no longer echo emptiness. They will release evidence. As the apostle wrote to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 13, I believed, therefore I have spoken. Faith that stays silent eventually fades. Faith that speaks keeps breathing. The moment you begin to declare what heaven says about you, chains that were invisible start breaking. You are not repeating affirmation, you are reintroducing authority. Think of your voice like a torch carried through fog. The fog doesn't flee because of volume, but because of light. You carry that light every time you open your mouth in truth. Every word becomes a spark that builds into flame. There was a woman named Selah who stopped praying safe prayers. One day she said aloud, I will not shrink anymore. The moment those words left her lips, peace fell on her room like rain. From then on, every time she spoke God's word over her life, her reality began to catch up with her revelation. That's what's about to happen for you. You are moving from silence to sound, from survival to declaration. This is not about shouting, it's about standing. The power of your voice isn't in volume, it's in alignment. You've carried promises too long in whispers. Now, heaven says, speak. Speak light into your tomorrow. Speak strength into your today. Speak life into the places that feel forgotten. Your voice is the key that unlocks your next chapter. So right now, as an act of alignment, type, I speak light. End of teen. Not for attention, but for agreement. When you write those words, you're saying, I choose clarity over confusion. I choose courage over silence. Heaven hears it. Darkness fears it. And your own spirit awakens to it. Selah's story became a melody for many. She didn't preach, she radiated. Every room she entered shifted because she no longer apologized for her light. The same grace is resting on you now. Your words are seeds, your tone is soil, your faith is the rain that grows what you declare. Even now, the atmosphere around you is listening. Heaven has placed its ear near your heart, waiting for your agreement. Don't underestimate the weight of one sentence spoken in faith. It can realign generations. When your voice aligns with God's word, nothing remains the same. Mountains respond, peace returns, and purpose unfolds. You were never meant to stay quiet. You were meant to release sound that carries heaven's authority. So lift your voice. Chosen one, not in noise, but in knowing. Speak what God has spoken, and watch the unseen world rearrange itself around your obedience. And when you finally begin to speak, the world will tilt slightly, as if creation itself recognizes the return of your sound. Every word you release in faith carries frequency. It doesn't fade. It travels. Heaven doesn't measure your tone by volume, but by truth. You'll notice how things start to shift. Conversations will open that once felt closed. Opportunities will recognize you before you introduce yourself. Because your words are no longer empty, they are weighted with authority earned in silence. Some won't understand your confidence. They'll call it pride, not realizing it's peace. You're not trying to prove anything anymore. You're just agreeing with what heaven already said about you. There is freedom in that alignment, a quiet confidence that doesn't need applause. And when you say, I speak light, don't imagine brightness in the sky. Imagine illumination in your decision, warmth in your relationships, revelation in your purpose. That's the kind of light heaven releases, internal before external, eternal before visible. Keep speaking that light until it becomes the language of your life. Because what you say consistently, you eventually see completely. And when your sound matches your assignment, darkness has no vocabulary left to oppose you. Every great movement begins quietly with one person who refuses to ignore the whisper of heaven. That whisper is rising again. And this time, it carries your name. You are not being called to do something dramatic. You are being invited to do something deliberate, to live as proof that light still wins. You've walked through enough darkness to recognize the value of one spark. You know what it feels like to have nothing left but faith, and still choose to believe. That's why your obedience now carries so much power. It's not naive. It's seasoned. You've seen loss. You've faced silence. And yet here you are, still standing, still open, still willing. There was once a sculptor who spent years carving a single statue from a single piece of stone. People mocked him, saying he wasted his life on one creation. But when the work was finally unveiled, the statue seemed alive, its face radiant, its form perfect. When they asked how he achieved such beauty, he said, "I didn't carve the figure, I released it. The masterpiece was already inside the stone." No, that's what heaven has been doing with you. Every trial was a chisel. Every delay was a carving. Every tear was a touch of precision. The weight you felt wasn't punishment. It was the shaping of destiny. And now, the masterpiece is emerging. You are not who you were before the fire. You carry depth now. You carry grace. You carry the evidence of endurance in your eyes. The world doesn't need another loud voice. It needs your quiet authority, your calm presence, your unwavering peace. The Word of God reminds us through the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." You are not called to impress, you are called to illuminate, to walk into rooms and shift their temperature simply by being authentic, to live in such a way that your peace preaches louder than your words. That is what it means to let your light shine. There's something sacred about this next step. Heaven doesn't push it, invites. What happens now is not about effort, it's about expression. You've been shaped for such a time as this. The message inside you is no longer meant to stay hidden. It's time to release it. Like breath meeting flame. And as that flame spreads, let it touch others, not through force, but through beauty. Because true light never demands attention, it simply draws it. You don't need to convince anyone to see God in you. They will feel Him through your consistency, your kindness, your courage. If these words resonate, let this be your gentle act of agreement. When you press like, imagine it as placing another candle beside yours, a small flame joining the great fire of awakening. When you share, see it not as promotion, but as participation, passing the torch to someone lost in shadow. And when you subscribe, picture it as stepping closer to the warmth, saying, "I want to stay where the light keeps burning." You're not following a page, you're joining a procession of souls walking toward purpose. Click. Each share. Each moment of connection becomes a spark in the cathedral of faith, lighting paths for those still searching. Let these small actions be worship without words, tiny prayers in motion. You don't need to explain them. Heaven understands the language of light. Because when light finds other light, darkness has no choice but to retreat. That's what's happening through you now. Every person you touch, every truth you carry, every flame you nurture, it all adds to the symphony of illumination. Heaven is orchestrating. There was once a traveler who carried a lantern through a long desert night. When asked why he bothered, since the light could barely pierce the vast dark, he smiled and said, "Because someone behind me might need to see the next step. And that's why you shine, not for recognition, but for remembrance, for those who will one day look at your life and realize it's possible to survive, to rise, to burn without burning out. You are that lantern, that living echo of grace, and when the world grows colder, your warmth will call the weary home. So let your life be the light that teaches others how to see again, not by striving, but by shining, not by effort, but by essence, because the most powerful sermons are the ones lived, not spoken. Your light is not small, it's sacred, and every act of sharing it turns the night into morning. And when the dawn finally comes, you'll realize it wasn't the sun that changed the world, it was the light within you. Quiet, consistent, unstoppable, guiding countless hearts back toward hope and home. There's a sacred cost that comes with carrying light. It's not the price of fame or recognition, it's the quiet, invisible price of integrity. The more your light grows, the more it exposes. Not only around you, but within you. God's glory doesn't just shine, it searches. It reveals what's still unfinished, so that grace can finish it. Many think being chosen means privilege, but it really means responsibility. To carry revelation without arrogance, to hold power without corruption, to walk in authority while remaining gentle. This balance is the hallmark of the mature, and you, through pain and process, have been learning this balance. There was a king named Arion, known not for his crown, but for his restraint. Legends say he could silence entire armies with one gesture, yet he never spoke a word without purpose. When asked why, he said, "Power is loudest when it whispers. That is the wisdom heaven now entrusts to you. You've been trained in silence, so your words would carry weight. You've been tested in loss, so your blessings won't make you proud. You've been emptied, so you can carry glory without leaking ego. All this time, God wasn't withholding from you, He was refining you. And refinement hurts. It burns away the unnecessary from the impulsive, the prideful. It feels like being stripped bare. But what's left afterward is incorruptible. The trials didn't make you bitter. They purified your motive. What remains now is gold, unpolished but precious. The book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 4, records this divine pattern. Perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. That is your progression. What once felt like delay was actually development. What felt like punishment was promotion in disguise. Every hardship had a hidden curriculum, teaching you how to walk as one who carries heaven's heart, not just heaven's message. You've learned that real authority doesn't demand, it demonstrates. It shows up in kindness, in consistency, in how you love the undeserving. Your strength now isn't in your fire, but in your restraint. You could respond, but you choose peace. You could react, but you choose wisdom. That's not weakness, that's dominion. There's a sacred beauty in those who walk with quiet confidence. They no longer compete, they complete. They no longer prove, they provide. You've become one of them, a steady flame that no longer flickers in the wind, but bends and rises with it. The deeper your transformation, the fewer explanations you owe. People may misinterpret your calm as coldness, but that's fine. When peace becomes your default, misunderstanding becomes irrelevant. You've learned that the approval of heaven outweighs the applause of crowds. There's something extraordinary happening in your inner world. The noise that once drained you has lost its pull. The chaos that once terrified you now feels like background static. You found a stillness that travels with you, a peace portable enough for every storm. Imagine standing in the middle of a hurricane, yet your heart remains unmoved, steady as a mountain lake. That's where grace has brought you. It's not that storms stopped coming, it's that you stopped surrendering your stability to them. There was a story of an old lighthouse keeper who repaired his lamp every day, even when the seas were calm. When asked why, he replied, "Because storms never send a warning." That's how you live now, faithful, even in the quiet. Vigilant, even in peace. Discipline has become your devotion. You've realized that consistency is the real anointing. The miracles may draw attention, but it's endurance that sustains destiny. Heaven trusts the consistent more than the gifted, and soon, others will look to you for guidance. They'll wonder how you endured, how you maintained grace under pressure, how you continued without losing joy. You won't need to explain. They'll see it in your posture, in the way you move through life, unshaken. What you carry now isn't fragile, it's forged. You've crossed from mere belief into embodiment. You no longer just talk about light, you are the light. That's why the enemy fears your peace. It's untouchable. So keep walking with quiet assurance. Heaven's eyes are on you, not as a test, but as the light. You are no longer being refined, you are being revealed. Everything you've endured has prepared you for this stage: calm strength, quiet power, holy endurance. The storm doesn't define you anymore, it obeys you. And when you walk into the next season, you'll carry not just answers, but atmosphere. Your peace will speak louder than your words ever could. You've become what the process intended: faith refined into presence, and presence refined into purpose. You are now the calm after the storm, the evidence that peace is not the absence of trouble, but the mastery of it. Your silence holds authority, and wherever you go next, creation will recognize you. The wind will know your name, and the darkness will remember the day it lost you. There comes a moment when the path divides, and heaven waits to see which road you'll choose. It's not a test of strength, but of surrender. One way feels safe, familiar, predictable, full of comfort. The other feels unknown, narrow, uncertain, lined with mystery. But deep in your spirit, you already know which one is calling you. You stand at the prophetic crossroads. Everything in your life has led you here: the battles, the silence, the small victories, the countless nights of prayer. Heaven has been preparing this decision long before you could see it. This is not coincidence. This is divine convergence. There's a man in Scripture named Joshua who stood in a similar place. The people were weary, their past still heavy on their backs. But before them was promise, and the Lord spoke to him, not with thunder, but with clarity. as recorded in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. End quote. That same command echoes now strong. Gentle, undeniable. Be courageous. Don't shrink from the unknown. The presence that guided Joshua is the same presence surrounding you now. The old season has done its work. It taught you endurance, sharpened your discernment, and purified your motives. But now, God is asking for something deeper, your decision. The next level of grace won't arrive through striving, but through stepping. You can't cling to what's comfortable and still claim what's coming. There's a story about a musician named Ida. For years, she played her violin in empty rooms, feeling forgotten by heaven. One evening, after another performance, no one attended. She packed up her instrument, ready to quit. But as she reached the door, she heard a voice inside her say, "Play once more." In 7, she hesitated, but obeyed. The sound that filled the room was unlike anything she'd ever played. Full, radiant, alive. What she didn't realize was that a music producer had been standing outside, drawn by the melody. That single act of obedience changed her life forever. Your next yes will carry that same power. What feels small will open something massive. Heaven moves when faith moves. But this isn't about fame or visibility. It's about alignment. The power of obedience is never in who sees it, but in who sent it. This decision before you will not look dramatic to others. It may be quiet, ending a cycle, forgiving someone, starting something new, or simply refusing to go backward. But in heaven's eyes, it's monumental. Every chosen one must pass through this threshold, the place where fear and faith meet face to face. You might not see the next step clearly, but that's the point. The walk of faith begins where sight ends. The Lord rarely gives maps, He gives movement. Each act of obedience becomes the next piece of direction. The crossroad you face isn't punishment, it's promotion. God doesn't ask for your choice because He needs it. He asks because you need it. The act of choosing creates clarity. The moment you decide, heaven begins to rearrange the earth around your yes. So now, breathe deeply. Let go of the weight of what if. Trust that the same God who led you here will lead you forward. This next path won't require more effort, it will require more faith. You are not standing at the end of something, you are standing at the entrance of destiny. Every hesitation is a shadow, and light has no patience for shadows. The Spirit whispers again, choose me, choose forward. This is your turning point. The divine intersection where old battles end and new beginnings unfold. Heaven doesn't force your step, it honors your will. And your willingness right now carries more power than you realize. As a prophetic sign of your agreement with heaven's direction, type 999 inches. The comments. This number represents completion, breakthrough, and the divine moment of transition. It symbolizes the closing of one season and the birthing of another. When you write it, you're saying, I am ready to step into the fullness of what God has prepared. I choose purpose over fear, obedience over delay. On every 999 written becomes a declaration that echoes beyond this screen, a spiritual signature in the unseen realm. It tells heaven, I'm done circling old mountains. I'm walking forward. It tells darkness, you no longer own my hesitation, and it tells your own heart. This time, I will finish what I started. Ida didn't know her final act of faith would open the door she'd been praying for all along. In the same way, what you choose in this quiet moment will ripple into the rest of your story. Take the narrow road. Choose courage over comfort, calling over convenience, obedience over opinion. This is not the end. It's the unveiling of what heaven planted inside you from the beginning. You're standing at the threshold of something holy. Step forward. Heaven is already one step ahead. There is movement in the unseen realm now. Things that once resisted you are beginning to release. It's subtle, quiet, almost imperceptible, but it's real. Heaven doesn't shout when it shifts, it hums. You can feel it. If you listen beneath the surface, the air feels lighter. Time feels thinner. And purpose begins to press forward from within. You've crossed the point of waiting and entered the phase of walking. This is not the time for haste, but for harmony. The rhythm of heaven is steady, deliberate, and it will not let you miss your moment. You've been trained to recognize divine timing, not by clocks, but by peace. Peace is your green light. Now, when your spirit rests, you can move. Every step you take now is sacred. You are walking through doors that prayer built, through gates that tears unlocked. The battles that once bruised you have become bridges. What was meant to break you has become the very ground you now stand upon. There's redemption even in the soil. The Apostle Paul once wrote, in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. This is not a cliche, it's a map. You've lived enough to see how even your mistakes were woven into mercy. The detours weren't wasted, they were divine directions in disguise. The disappointments were classrooms where heaven taught you resilience. Every no from people was preparing you for God's yes. There's something holy about hindsight. When you look back with healed eyes, you no longer see failure, you see formation. Every wound became a window, every delay, a design. What the enemy meant to silence you has only refined your sound. There was a farmer named Corin who used to walk his barren fields, lamenting the drought that had stolen his crops. One day, an old traveler told him, dig deeper. The surface is dry, but the water runs underneath. Corin obeyed, digging until his hands bled. And there, beneath the cracked earth, he found a spring. The same field that once mocked him became his miracle. You are Corin. The drought was never proof of death. It was invitation to dig deeper. The dryness of the last season forced your roots to find living water. You no longer draw strength from circumstances. You draw from the source. That's why you endure what others can't explain. The storms that once scared you now serve you. You've learned to let them wash what needed cleansing and reveal what needed clarity. Rain no longer threatens you, it baptizes you. Fire no longer frightens you, it forges you. You are living proof that nothing surrendered to God is ever wasted. And now, heaven is restoring rhythm to your life. The same God who calmed the sea is calming the spaces inside you. What once felt scattered is aligning. What once felt empty is filling. What once felt broken is becoming beautiful. You'll begin to notice new patterns, small signs that purpose is waking. unexpected favor, timely encounters, quiet confirmations, not because you're chasing them, but because you're walking in harmony with divine order. Miracles follow movement. They are attracted to alignment. Don't rush this new pace. It's not about speed, it's about stability. This is the season where you build, not just receive. The foundation beneath you is solid now. You're no longer patching what's broken, you're planting what's eternal. And through it all, you'll feel a steady gratitude rising in your chest. Gratitude for the pain, for the process, for the patience. Gratitude that you survived what was designed to silence you. Gratitude that you finally understand what you went through wasn't random, it was revelation. The Spirit doesn't always reward with applause. Sometimes it rewards with awareness. You've become aware of who you are, whose you are, and what you're carrying. That awareness is anointing. It's heaven's way of saying, now you understand. Now, you are not waiting for restoration anymore. You are living in it. The evidence isn't always external. It's the peace inside you that no storm can steal. So, walk slowly and see everything anew. You've earned this stillness, this clarity, this quiet strength. You've become someone the darkness can't intimidate and the light can't overlook. The breakthrough has already begun. It's not loud, but it's lasting. You are walking through fulfillment, disguised as ordinary days. And soon, what was unseen will unfold before you. As naturally as morning follows night, you are in step with eternity now. Keep walking, and as you walk, remember, every breath you take is a continuation of grace. You're not chasing miracles anymore. You're carrying them, quietly, faithfully, letting heaven write its glory through your ordinary steps. There is a kind of beauty that only those who've been broken can carry, a glow that doesn't fade, a peace that doesn't perform. You carry that beauty now. It's the quiet radiance of someone who has walked through fire and discovered that even flames can be friends when God walks with you. You've changed in ways words can barely explain. Once, you prayed for rescue. Now, you pray for revelation. Once, you wanted escape. Now, you ask for endurance. That's how heaven measures growth, not by comfort, but by capacity. You have become wide enough to hold both joy and sorrow, both hope and wisdom, without losing your balance. This season is not about chasing blessings, it's about becoming one. Everywhere you go, you release peace. You carry calm into chaos, clarity into confusion. You've become a living sermon. Your silence preaches, your patience heals, your presence teaches. There's a line in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Endumo, that isn't a suggestion, it's a summons. You've spent years surviving. Now you're being called to shine, not in arrogance, but in awareness. The glory rising on you isn't yours, it's His reflection through you. You were never meant to dim to make others comfortable. You were meant to glow so they remember God still moves. Think of a lantern in the middle of an endless desert. It doesn't choose where the wind blows or where the sand shifts. It just stays lit. That's you now, resilient, luminous, faithful. You no longer chase validation, you carry vision. You no longer fear solitude, you find sanctuary in it. There was once a healer named Meron who lived by the sea. people came to her for advice. Yet she rarely spoke. Instead, she listened. One day, a young traveler asked her how she healed so many without medicine. She smiled and said, "I learned to let God speak first." That became her secret, the art of stillness before speech, surrender before service. That same wisdom has settled in you. You've learned that not every battle requires a sword. Some require silence. You've realized that the loudest power often wears gentleness as armor. You now understand what it means to walk with authority that doesn't need to announce itself. This is maturity in motion, when you no longer seek to be understood, but to understand. When you stop asking why me and start saying use me, you have reached that threshold. Heaven trusts you with influence because you no longer crave it. You carry it with humility. Every person you meet from here will experience something divine through you, even if they don't know how to name it. The peace on you will feel unfamiliar to them, but irresistible. You've become a mirror reflecting the steadiness of heaven. There's something sacred about the way your eyes see now. You notice details. Others overlook the flicker of hope in someone's tone, the tremor of pain behind their smile. You carry compassion without collapsing under it. That's what happens when love matures. It turns into wisdom. The journey hasn't been easy, but it's been effective. The tests have turned into tools. The wounds have become wisdom. The waiting has transformed into weight, spiritual weight. The kind that keeps you grounded when everything else is shaking. And soon, you'll begin to see fruit where you once saw failure, not flashy success. But enduring significance, the kind that lasts beyond seasons or applause. You'll realize that legacy isn't about being remembered, it's about leaving others restored. You've stepped into the portion of your calling where God doesn't just work for you, He works through you. Every conversation, every act of kindness, every prayer whispered under your breath becomes a seed in someone else's story. You no longer need to force anything. Alignment has replaced striving. Grace has replaced guilt. You move with ease because you've learned that obedience flows better than control. And when the world grows loud again, and it will, you'll know how to remain unmoved. You'll listen, discern, and respond from stillness, because stillness is now your strength. The transformation is complete. You are both lion and lamb, fire and calm, strength and softness. You carry contradiction with grace because you understand the divine pattern. Heaven hides its greatest power in paradox. So walk boldly, yet gently, love deeply, yet wisely. Speak less, but mean more, because now everything about you is intentional. You've become a vessel of peace, a carrier of light, a testimony in motion. And as you move forward, remember, you are no longer searching for miracles. You are living as one. The glory has settled. The journey has refined. And the light within you is steady. The world will change, not because you shouted, but because you shined. When destiny calls, it doesn't always sound like thunder. Sometimes, it's the soft rhythm of your own heartbeat that reminds you you were born for something holy. By now, you've walked through shadow and sunlight, through valleys of silence and mountaintops of revelation. You've learned to recognize the whisper behind the wind, the presence within the pause. You have become the kind of soul that heaven can trust. Your life has become a melody written in obedience. Every note, every loss, every lesson has tuned you to the sound of divine timing. You no longer chase what's fleeting, you follow what's eternal. There's a passage in the book of Corinthians, the first letter, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, for your labor is not in vain. This is the verse that describes you now unshaken, faithful, anchored. You've discovered that steadfastness isn't stubbornness, it's devotion. You've learned to plant where you're placed and trust that heaven waters what it commands you to grow. There was a potter named Silam who crafted her clay with patience. She never rushed the process. One day, a young apprentice asked her why she spun the wheel so slowly. She smiled and said, "Because the clay listens better when the wheel moves with care. The same is true for your life when you move slowly with God. Your soul listens better. Your purpose shapes easier. Your peace lasts longer." Now, heaven leans close again, not to command, but to invite. It whispers, "Share the light you found, because what you carry isn't meant to stay hidden, it's meant to multiply." You've reached the part of your journey where your transformation begins to transform others. When you press like, imagine it as a gentle touch on the surface of still water, a ripple that carries light farther than your eyes can see. Each touch says, "I see the reflection of heaven here." Oh, when you share, think of it not as an algorithmic action, but as lighting another candle from your own flame. It costs you nothing, but it gives someone else sight in their night. It's how the fire spreads not through force, but through grace. And when you subscribe, let it feel like walking into a sanctuary you helped build. Every click becomes a step closer to a community of light bearers, a circle of souls who believe that faith, hope, and courage are still worth protecting. You're not joining a following, you're joining a fellowship. And if you feel led to leave a comment, let it be like planting a seed. Words carry weight, and your reflection might be the rain someone else was praying for. A sentence can save a heart. A testimony can reawaken faith. When you write, write as if eternity is listening, because it is. These actions are not duties, they're echoes. Each one says, "I'm part of this light." Each one sends out a small wave of faith that collides with another until a tide of hope begins to rise. You may never see how far it reaches, but heaven does. There's a story told among travelers of a lighthouse built by the hands of many strangers. Each person who visited the coast added one stone, believing their small effort would someday help someone find their way home. When the final stone was placed, the light ignited on its own. That's what these small gestures are. They're your stones, laid one by one, building something luminous. Your voice, your presence, your engagement. It all becomes part of a living cathedral made of courage. And from that cathedral, light keeps spilling outward, washing over weary hearts, reminding the world that goodness is still alive. So if your spirit feels it, let your response be an act of worship, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. Because gratitude naturally gives, love naturally shares. You've come so far, and heaven is proud, not because you were perfect, but because you stayed. You kept your flame alive in the wind. You chose grace over grudges, peace over panic, obedience over opinion. This is your full circle moment, the return from refining to radiance. The same God who started this work in you is now using you as his work of art. The masterpiece is no longer hidden, it's standing in the light. Breathing, moving, alive. And when others see your glow, they won't just see you, they'll see the reflection of the one who never left you. So breathe in grace. Breathe out gratitude. Let your faith spill naturally into the world, as effortless as sunrise after night. Because every small act of light, every click, every word, every moment of connection is how heaven continues to create. You've become the story, the spark, the signpost. And now, your light calls others home. Time has a way of testing what is real. Everything temporary fades. But truth endure. You've walked long enough to know the difference. Now the difference between what shines for a moment and what glows forever. You no longer chase flashes of emotion. You seek the steady flame of purpose. This is the judgment of delay. Though it's not the kind that condemns, it's the kind that reveals. When time stretches, when answers seem slow, heaven isn't withholding, it's weighing. It measures the integrity of desire, testing whether your waiting is filled with worship or complaint. Every delay becomes a scale of devotion. The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 36, speaks to this very season. You need to persevere, so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Patience is not punishment, it's purification. It burns away the motives that can't survive blessing. It teaches you to want what heaven wants, not just what your flesh craves. And you, through tears and time, have learned this sacred art. You've stopped begging for quick answers and started praying for correct alignment. That's how maturity sounds. It prays differently. You've seen how delay can disguise mercy. Had you received what you wanted too soon, it would have crushed you. The timing of heaven is precise. What feels late to you is right on schedule in eternity's calendar. There was a craftsman named Dial who built clocks for a living. He said the most important part wasn't the hands or the face, it was the balance wheel deep inside. The tiny mechanism that regulated every second. If the balance wheel is off by even a breath, he said, the whole clock lies. Waiting seasons are your balance wheel. They align your internal rhythm with God's external purpose. That's why the delays have lasted so long, because the promise you carry is precise. Heaven won't release what's eternal into hands still shaped by impatience. Every moment of silence, every postponed answer, has been carving character into your spirit. You've been learning how to move at heaven's pace instead of human pressure. And now, something in you has shifted. You no longer resist waiting, you rest inside it. This is the stage where faith stops feeling emotional and starts becoming elemental. It's not a feeling anymore, it's your framework. The fire has done its work. The waiting has refined your weight. There's a quiet warning woven into this season. Never outrun divine rhythm. When you move too fast, you lose the fragrance of grace. When you wait too long out of fear, opportunities decay. The wisdom of maturity is knowing when the wind of heaven changes direction and moving in sync. Your delay has been sacred choreography. While you thought you were standing still, heaven was positioning everything around you, aligning hearts, rearranging paths, perfecting timing. The things you prayed for are no longer being built, they're being unveiled. But take heed, delay becomes danger when disobedience enters. When heaven moves and you refuse, Blessing becomes burden. This is why timing matters so much in the kingdom. Every instruction from God carries an expiration, not because His love ends, but because His plan moves. You are not behind, but you are responsible for awareness. The Spirit's rhythm is gentle, but it will not wait forever. To delay obedience is to delay destiny. And you, chosen one, have already been prepared too long to hesitate now. Look back for a moment. See how every paused prayer has led to precision. See how every slow answer protected you. Time has not stolen from you, it has refined you. You are not aging, you are ripening. You're becoming the fruit of patience itself. Even the heavens testify to this truth. Stars are ancient light, yet they still shine in the present. Some of their radiance left its source thousands of years ago, but it reaches your eyes now. That's how delayed promises work. Their light is on the way, even if the source seems distant. So breathe. You're standing in the space between promise and performance, where endurance transforms into evidence. You don't need to chase what's already written. You just need to remain faithful until it manifests. The time you thought was lost is about to return, multiplied. The years that felt silent will soon echo with purpose. What once looked stagnant will start to bloom again, not suddenly, but steadily, like dawn creeping over a long night. You've learned that the clock of heaven doesn't tick by seconds, it beats by surrender. The longer you trust, the clearer the rhythm becomes. Soon, you'll look back and realize that delay was never the absence of movement, it was the symphony of preparation. Every wait was a note, every pause a rest, every silence a rehearsal for the song that's about to begin. You have not been forgotten, you've been synchronized. Heaven's hand is still on the clock, and when it strikes, it will not be late, it will be perfect. There is a moment when the refining ends and the revealing begins. You have reached that moment now. The fire has done its holy work. The waiting has fulfilled its purpose. What remains is you refined, quiet, strong. You are no longer the one who prays for storms to pass. You are the one who carries calm through them. Heaven doesn't need to test you anymore. It trusts you. Every season, every silence, every delay has carved the shape of stewardship into your soul. You have become a living altar, a walking testimony of what happens when obedience endures long enough to meet purpose. This final stretch of the journey isn't about doing more. It's about being more, being still, being steady, being present in the presence of God. The same voice that once said, "Wait," now says, "Walk." But this walk is different. It's not about arrival. It's about embodiment. You don't have to chase your calling anymore. You've become it. As the writer of Hebrews declared in chapter 12, verse 1, "Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith." This is the race you now run, not hurried, not frantic, but holy. It's the rhythm of someone who has learned that faith doesn't sprint, it sustains. You move with purpose, not pressure. You breathe with awareness, not anxiety. Every step forward feels lighter because you finally understand that destiny isn't a destination, it's a relationship. There's a peace that follows those who have surrendered everything. It's not the peace of ease, but of essence. It lives deeper than comfort. It's the still confidence that comes from knowing you are exactly where heaven placed you. That peace is resting on you now. You've become like a tree that survived every season, winter's silence, summer's heat, autumn's letting go. The scars on your bark aren't signs of weakness. They are records of endurance. The wind knows your name because you've stood in it without breaking. There's a legend told among the desert tribes about a flame called the Keeper's Fire. It burns day and night, not because of fuel, but because of faith. The elders say that if you stand near it long enough, it begins to burn inside you. That's what your journey has done. It has placed that same sacred fire within. You no longer need to seek it. You are it. Look back for a moment at the road you've traveled, at the shadows that tried to silence you, at the tears that watered your growth. None of it was wasted. Every fragment of pain became a piece of wisdom. Every ending became a seed. Even what broke you became a bridge for someone else's healing. You now carry stories that will outlive your name. When you speak, others will hear truth, not theory. They'll feel the weight of someone who has been through the valley and come back with light in their hands. That's the rarest kind of authority, the one forged through survival and sanctified by surrender. From here, your task is simple. Live. Live fully. Live gently. Live truthfully. The glory resting on you isn't fragile, it's foundational. It's meant to move through your laughter, your kindness, your daily faithfulness. The world won't always notice it, but heaven will never stop rejoicing over it. You have become what you were created to be, a vessel of light, a keeper of peace, a carrier of divine rhythm. You don't have to prove it, you simply have to walk in it. There will be new beginnings ahead, but none will shake you. The winds that once frightened you will now guide you. The unknown won't intimidate you anymore. It will invite you, because when your heart is anchored in heaven, no Ethan feels too far. And though you will continue to grow, it will no longer feel like striving. It will feel like breathing natural, effortless, constant. You'll move through life as one attuned to the cadence of grace, your steps marking time with eternity's melody. The journey has not made you hard, it has made you whole. You've learned that surrender is strength and stillness is victory. You no longer wrestle with destiny, you rest inside it. And in that rest, heaven smiles. Because when a chosen one finally becomes peace itself, creation recognizes its reflection. The story isn't over, it's unfolding in divine rhythm. Every sunrise will remind you that what began in struggle is ending in glory. You are the living proof that delay can turn into destiny, and obedience into eternity. And as you step beyond this chapter, heaven will not need to announce you, the light within will. Every breath, every glance, every act of grace will testify that you have become what you were always meant to be. This is the part where the story exhales, where the words you've heard now rest quietly in your spirit, becoming seeds. You've walked through revelation, reflection, and renewal. What began as a whisper has turned into a rhythm, and that rhythm now belongs to you. If these words have reached you, it wasn't by accident. Maybe you were scrolling, searching, or simply sitting in silence, but heaven found a way to touch you through time and distance. Every heartbeat, every breath, every quiet yes has brought you to this sacred stillness where purpose begins to unfold. What happens next isn't about performance, it's about participation. You've received light. Now you decide what to do with it. When you like this message, think of it as opening your palms to the sky, saying, I receive what is meant for me. When you share, Imagine releasing a lantern into the night. Somewhere, someone might see its glow and remember that hope still exists. Your simple act can become someone else's turning point. And when you subscribe, picture yourself stepping into a growing circle of light souls scattered across the world, yet united by one flame. You're not just joining a channel, you're becoming part of a movement that believes love, truth, and faith are still worth living for. If your heart feels stirred, leave a comment, not for recognition, but as a ripple of remembrance. Write what resonates. Write what awakens you. Write to remind someone else that they are not alone. Because this isn't the end, it's an awakening. You carry what you've heard now. Take it into your day, into your conversations, into your quiet prayers. Let your life become the echo of these words. Let your light travel farther than your voice ever could.